All right, we're back again with another episode of Roofer Reflections. I'm really excited to have Devon on the show. Devon, thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
You got an entrepreneur background, which I love. But before you dive into some of, I think your entrepreneurial stuff happened, I guess, sort of university-ish.
I was in school when I started my business and ended up choosing to get my degree in hard work instead of a actual degree. So whether that was a good choice or not, we'll find out eventually. But yeah, I ended up starting the company while I was in college at UGA.
Yeah. And I noticed that you started many different businesses. How did that kind of spawn out?
The way that I started out was actually in pressure washing. I started out pressure washing because I didn't have the capital to get into the roofing industry. I couldn't afford the materials and labor for a whole roof at that point. So I started out in pressure washing, built that up, added on painting, built that up, added on siding repairs, fascia repairs, general exterior repairs, kept going, added gutters, and then along the way I was doing all of the roof repairs, and then we started adding roofing on.
Yeah.
But the first few years of the business were just me and a couple guys out doing the work.
Was roofing the original path, or just your progression kind of sort of pushed you along towards roofing?
The progression was always going in that direction, but it was a matter of building up to it, because I didn't want to. I had seen companies where they get a really hot start, and then because they didn't have the actual financial wherewithal to sustain that, where they'd gotten in trouble and gone under. And so my thought was, okay, well, let's start small. Let's build up the war chest a bit and then expand as we're able, and then I've had that lesson turned back on me a few times where I ended up growing a little bit too fast, and then it cost me, and then I had to rebuild from there. As far as, the direct idea for the company is, I wanted to be the company where if you needed something done on your house, you could have a one-stop shop. Whether it's painting the exterior, and I'm not talking about like interior remodels and stuff like that. That's definitely not our specialty. But when it comes to exteriors, that's where we, really shine. And I wanted to build up to that from when I started the company all the way on.
Yeah. So it sounds like you spent the time to learn each of the disciplines before you start to add it.
My thoughts there were that if I didn't understand it, I couldn't sell it. So if I don't understand the right way to paint the exterior of a house, then even if I hire a crew that knows what they're doing, I don't know that they know what they're doing unless I know how to do it. It's the same thing with siding or pressure washing or roofing. I mean, it's any trade.
How do you structurally keep that quality throughout? Because there's different expertise in each area.
The biggest thing with that is having the right crews, because I can't do it without the people that I have. The crews that we have now, it took me years to get. It took me years of going through and figuring out who knows what they're doing and who doesn't. For maintaining the quality, really it's just knowing what you're doing going in, and then having the right people to do the job how you want it. All of my crews now know how we want the job done. So they know if they're doing a job for us that they have to do it a very specific way, or else it gets redone.
What are your thoughts around attracting crews, keeping crews?
Keep your word, number one. If you tell them you're going to pay them X amount per square or X amount per job that they do, pay that. Pay it on time. As far as keeping crews and making sure that you're getting the right guys and keeping them happy, if you pay everybody on time, if you have a very clear understanding of what your expectations are going into the jobs, if you make sure that materials are delivered on time, those are some of the things that you have to do every time, because you're building rapport with these people, and you have to place a high level of importance on them, because without them, your company doesn't run.
People must approach you for advice, or people that are considering roofing as a career. What do you tell them?
I tell them to spend some time actually learning the trade first. Spend some time studying the actual business of roofing and not just roofing sales. I think that there's companies that were started by roofing salesmen that are doing fantastic and that are great companies. So I'm not detracting from that at all. However, I do think that if you are going into roofing without a real understanding of roofing as a profession and the back end of the business, not just the revenue side, not just, oh yeah, we sold this one for, 20, 30, 40, 100 grand, whatever it is, then you can get in real trouble quick. Like I said, it's just like anything. My whole philosophy is learn it first, then sell it. Then you know what it really takes to do it. So